The views and opinions in the following program remain those of the producer, and in no way reflect the views and opinions of Medford Community Cablevision, its board of directors, management, or other affiliates.
Hi everybody, welcome back for Kitty Connections, the Pet Network. We're starting our third season this year on TV3, the Pet Network, and we're really excited and happy. This being our first show, and we'll have many more to follow. We're going to try to have a pretty set schedule this year. Hopefully after September we'll be having the Pet Network on every second Wednesday of the month. When we're starting this show, one of the things we're going to talk about is what Kitty Connection has been doing since our last show, what our plans are for the season, what's coming up, and we want to talk about and introduce some of the people that make up Kitty Connection, whether they're adults, and another big integral part of our organization are our junior volunteers. And tonight I have with me a few others, but right now sitting with me is Maria and Miriam. And I think it's pretty exciting because I haven't seen Miriam. How many years has it been that I've seen you? Maybe two. It's been 2 years. But Miriam has actually started volunteering with Kitty Connection. You were
12 years old.
12 years old, yes. And it's amazing. So of course, but she's been volunteering consistently with us. But it just goes to show you that even though she's been a regular volunteer since she was 12, how old are you now?
I'm 16 now.
16, so that's 4 years. That means a year after Kitty Connection started, you became a volunteer with us. I remember Miriam started with us as a junior volunteer, and right off the bat, you kind of started going, you were a foster home. Mom said you could foster some of the kitties. What was first, kittens or cats?
Kittens. The first one I got was Sprite, and I think she was like 6 months old about. But I remember when the person came to do a foster home check, and they looked at my mom. They're like, "Oh, are you Miriam?" Because I've only contacted them through email. And I was like, "No, the 12-year-old, that's me." But ever since then, because my mom had always grown up with cats and kittens and animals, and I wanted to be a part of that. But at the same time, I could help the animals in need that are in our area.
Yeah, so I remember Miriam used to come over, and you did adoptions, and Miriam came to our adoption events, and I remember which kitten was it that you adopted in the basement, and I remember I got an email, I forget what kitten it was, but you remember the family that came over, and it was the dad, and he was like, he just couldn't say enough about Miriam. He kept saying, you know, how old was she? I can't believe it. She did a great job adopting this kitten to us. So, you know, what the message we want everybody to know is that Kitty Connection's made up of a lot of volunteers. What's our youngest? Who's our youngest volunteer?
A 15 or 16-year-old maybe?
Yeah, but I think we've actually even, Julia started with us too, and I think she might have been 10 or 11 too when she started, and comes to Kitty Connection and cleaning. So there's so many things that can be done, but the other important thing too is when your life started getting busy, and I know your last foster you actually fell in love with,
right?
Which was
Rocket.
Yeah.
And he would, like, usually we would keep them in my half of the house, like near my room. My mom wouldn't let them always roam all around the house, but this one she would always let run everywhere, and she would, like, she just didn't care, and she was like, I kind of like him more than our other any other past ones, so we had to adopt him.
Yeah.
But still, I wanted to continue helping out. Even as I entered high school, it got a little more hectic, my schedule. But so I started being backup for a pet finder and help networking with flyers.
Yeah, so it's great because a lot of times we'll have different cats at Kitty Connection that stay with us longer because maybe they have feline leukemia or they're FIV positive, or they're shyer cats or shyer kittens. And what I'll do is I'll send Miriam an email, and I'll ask Miriam to make up a shy kitty flyer, and I might tell her to, you know, I'll pick so many kitties, or Miriam, sometimes you even go on our website and you'll make multiple shy kitty flyers, and you know, some of the cats, single cats too, that we want to promote. And Miriam will make these flyers, and then we send them off to our different volunteers that will photocopy for us, and we'll distribute them to all of our volunteers to post. And these are important ways that we find homes for some of our kitties. And when Kelly, as Miriam said, who does our pet finder, goes away, and Kelly just recently had a little baby, little Alex, and while Kelly was on maternity leave for, what was it, like 3 months?
Yeah, it was a while.
Yeah. Miriam took over Pet Finder and did a great job, and she's still back up to Kelly, because Kelly, being a new mom, if something comes up and needs some extra help, she can definitely rely on Miriam to help her. And the other, you know, we're happy. One of our other junior volunteers here with us is Maria. Maria's a newer volunteer that joined us when school ended in June. How did you find out about Kitty Connection?
I searched online the closest kitty shelters to Medford, and you guys are one of them, and you were actually the only one who got back to me, I think, because I tried a couple, but yeah, and then I just started.
Miriam, how did you what made you find us? What made you think about volunteering with the animals?
Well, I was on a trip to Pittsburgh to visit my family, and my cousin took me to a shelter there, and I got to look at all the cats and dogs, and she told me about fostering. I never heard of that idea before, where you could take a cat that's waiting to be adopted and just take care of them, bring them to adoption events. So as soon as I got back to Medford, I searched online the same way that Maria did, and this was the closest one because it was right in Medford, so very convenient and very friendly right away. So.
Thank you. So again, it's, you know, we've been fortunate to really have great junior volunteers, and when Maria started with us, you know, she came in and she was going to clean, and my goodness, it's like Maria, I think, is at Kitty Connection every day, doing something, working with the kitties, cleaning. It was like she asked permission to have her birthday off, but we told her no, she couldn't, and she had to come. So Maria's a really big help. Talk about your experience too. How do you feel? I mean, you do tons, and when you first started coming, you're great. You know, you're not afraid of the shy kitties that come into Kitty Connection.
Yeah.
You work well with them.
Yeah, so I started out, I originally just wanted to do like socializing, feeding and cleaning, but then you came to me and you were telling me, can you help with Craigslist? And after I went to Craigslist, then I started doing emails and phone calls, and I just got involved in everything, and yeah, it's awesome. I really like working for Kitty Connection. I do a lot.
There's, you know, I don't think what people realize that it's really fast paced, and you know, I mean, it's really, you snooze, you lose. It's, you know, if you could send an email out to somebody, we're working on a rescue, or we need to move a kitty, or something's going on, and you know, there's multiple people that will send an email to, and maybe somebody will respond to me like 2 hours later, oh, I can help. But, you know, in animal rescue, responses are really needed quickly. And, you know, if it's an emergency, usually we need to know what to do within 10 to 15 minutes. So it's really great. You know, Maria would be sending me emails, asking me questions. And, you know, when Maria is at Kitty Connection, sometimes we have people that would just show up.
Yeah.
So Maria would show them kitties. She'd send me an email and say, hey, somebody stopped by. They like this kitty or whatever. And she just had so much take on, felt really comfortable working with people. So it was just easy to ask Maria how she felt to do something. Same like even Miriam, I think when we were asking you if you felt comfortable helping us with some of the computer stuff. Because I don't think that people realize that some of the volunteer opportunities that we have, you maybe can do from home. You can access our phone lines. We can transfer phone calls to other places to be picked up, and email and our telephone is really, really important. because in order for us to save kitties, we do have to find homes for them, and we want to, I think even with the girls, when they're saying that they did get return phone calls, it can sometimes take a while to do a return phone call because we are so busy. I think, Maria, you can see how many phone calls and problems we're working on, and you get confused.
Yeah.
Where are we at?
Oh, who knows? But I have a lot of free time this summer, so it's been really easy helping out. But it's still a lot of things to do, a lot of work.
And the other thing too is, you know, we're constantly emailed by people during the day, and because Maria is at Kitty Connection often, she knows so much. And again, I always tell our volunteers that you can get as involved as you want to be, and whether you volunteer for 5 minutes or 5 hours, and for many of us, and we do have a couple of our adult volunteers here, you can put in an additional 40 hours to a full-time job, which many of us do. So there's something to do whether you're at Kitty Connection or you're volunteering from your own home or out trapping or doing adoption. So if anybody is interested, whether you're an adult, a young person, definitely check out our website, www.kittyconnection.net. Feel free to call in, too, and ask some of our junior volunteers any questions. Our phone number, and we are taking call-ins, is 1-855-662-4788. We'd love to hear from you. One of the things I'd like to do, too, is to let everybody know what Kitty Connection has been doing, and maybe we'll have some of our other junior volunteers come on the show, and they can talk to you about some of the stuff that they've been doing. For a lot of our viewers, you probably know that we were working for a spay-neuter ordinance, and you know, we were always trying to tweak it. Somebody didn't like mandatory, different little things, and sometimes if you wait for things to happen, you'll miss out on other opportunities. So still trying to promote spaying and neutering. What we worked on was trying to get some grant money for Kitty Connection so that we would be able to do some additional spaying and neutering and trapping and returning some of the cats that are out on the streets, the strays and the feral cats. So one of our volunteers had done a training and on some grant writing, and she took on trying to do one of the grants for the MSPCA MAC grant. And we actually have a little viewing on it where we're actually trying to promote, because not only does it help Kitty Connection, but lots of other animal rescues are applying for grants and do receive money from the MSPCA MAC grant. And this is funded by individuals that will purchase license plates, and they're pet-friendly license plates. And the more people that purchase these license plates are able to fund and continue to make these grants happen. Okay, so as a matter of fact, on the wall, we have what the license plate looks like. And again, you are able to contact the MSPCA and ask them about how you can apply for one of these license plates. It is $75, and you can actually, I think, fill it all out even online. And again, it continues to help the MAC grant, the funding for trap, neuter, and return. And so one of the things that we've been doing is a lot of trapping, spaying, and neutering of cats. Our grant allows us to do this in the cities of Medford, Malden, and Everett. And some cities are more cat infested than other cities. So right now, and we respond to telephone calls. We've been able to assist several families in Medford with low-cost spaying and neutering. And we have been doing some, diligent trapping in the cities of Malden, Medford, and Everett. And in the past week, we're exhausted because we had many phone calls that have come in from Everett and Malden, where several colonies have been multiplying with a number of kittens. And, you know, so we've been rescuing mother cats and all of their kittens that they've been having. So one little segment that I'm going to show you is the next dilemma that comes with rescuing is you will end up with a lot of little kittens that are also outside. And some of these little kittens aren't your friendly little domestic kittens that a person, maybe their cat, has kittens because they haven't spayed or neutered it, and all those little kittens that are running around and will run up to you. Okay, this little kitten that's on my lap is Lando, and he's a little 12-week-old kitten that we got a phone call that him and his mom and his other litter mates were running around in the backyard along with his dad and a few other male cats, because when there is a female cat that isn't spayed, there's not just only one male cat that's hanging around. And this little kitten, Lando, and I've got his little brother and sister, and it's so funny because you can't even tell the difference. But we rescue them, and sadly, not a lot of people want to adopt these kittens because when they come to Kitty Connection to meet them, they're not going to run over to them. But this is a shy little kitten that you would never, ever think would be able to sit here and be on a TV show. And if I were to put him down, and you can see how his ears go down, and that's because he's so frightened. But believe it or not, this is a feral kitten. Okay, this kitten was born outside, and a lot of people will even call us when they want kittens, and they'll say, I don't want a kitten from outside, I want a real friendly kitten. And in all of my experience, the best pet in the long run is going to be this shy little kitten, because what happens is we've only had him for a week, and you can see he's not biting anybody, he's not even hissing. And once somebody adopts him, and he bonds to that person, this is going to be your best forever friend, because his trust in you is going to be so strong that every time you're sitting on a couch, this little guy's going to want to jump in your lap. And now, right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you to some of our other volunteers with Kitty Connection. And as I say, we have a lot of different volunteers, junior volunteers that will come. 2 volunteers that have joined me are Connor and Grace. And Connor's a new volunteer. He just started. You came, you met with Maria one time.
And then I came sometime during the past week. I don't know, I remember what day.
And you're going to be volunteering. You're going to come to Kitty Connection, and you're going to be interacting with the kittens. As a matter of fact, when you came, we had just rescued this little guy, wasn't it? We were rescuing some of the kittens. You want to hold him? Sure. Okay. So, and this is what we do, is these little guys, they need to be held a lot. Keep them in your arms, because one thing that could happen on the show is one of these kittens is going to be so scared that they could take off. And Lando came, we rescued him first, so he's got a few more days of being held. And what I'm going to do is take out one of the other kittens, which is a litter mate to Lando. And what we did is we've got Rondo and Pondo. You can see we're running out of names. Okay. And you can see the little kitten that I'm holding right now is a little more scareder than Lando was. But again, a feral kitten that isn't biting me, isn't hissing at me. And even if she did hiss at me, this is his little sister. All a hiss means is that they're scared. Grace, you want to hold little kitten?
Yes, please.
I'm going to give you a little towel because shy kittens like the security of sitting on a blanket. And Grace is a volunteer. She came to Kitty Connection. And Grace, you came and helped maybe once or twice?
Like 4 or 5 times.
Okay. And you helped with cleaning, taking care of the cats that were down in the basement. So these are, how did you find out about us, Grace?
Well,
Good scruff. Scruff on the neck.
my friends and I, we were like talking about how we would like to volunteer at an animal shelter, and I guess it stuck with me, so I decided to look around for like nearest animal shelter, which unfortunately was like an hour away from public transportation, but it was the closest, and I mean, I wanted to spend my summer doing something like productive, and I felt like helping out with kittens was, I guess, best choice.
And then you found Kitty Connection on the website too?
Yeah, I just like searched online for animal shelters, and it was basically the first choice that popped up.
Okay. And as I said, Conrad, you found us by searching the website and came over, and you're going to be volunteering regularly once school starts. Connor still plans on coming to Kitty Connection and volunteering. He's going to be helping Maria, working with some of these shy kittens. They definitely, when the volunteers go over, whether it's our junior volunteers and adults, they are, holding these kittens and petting them and playing with them so that they actually keep acclimating to people and the noises, and this is how we end up finding them forever homes. One of our goals this year is, because we, and not only Kitty Connection, but a lot of other rescues that are out there, we get so many of these shy kittens. So what we're trying to do is promote these kittens as TLC kittens, hoping that we can find them their forever homes. And I'll put this little one in, and we'll give another little brother a chance to come out. And I'll let everybody, and we do, we are volunteers at Kitty Connection. As I said, it's really exciting when we're preparing for our events that are coming up, and we see how many volunteers that we do have. I was like surprised preparing for our big meeting that'll be coming up on September 9th, that we have over 60 active volunteers with Kitty Connection. And you can see, look how relaxed Lando is. Hard to imagine that this little kitten is what we would consider a feral kitten, but he's far from feral anymore. He's very, he is ready for adoption, and if you go check out our website, you will see him on our website. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Lando back in and get out his other little brother, and we'll have a few more of our other volunteers, our final junior volunteers, come out and meet you and tell you what they've been doing at Kitty Connection. Thank you so much. And don't forget, if you'd like to make a phone call, we want to take calls. If you have any questions, definitely you can ask our junior volunteers any questions. You can call in. If you have any questions of Kitty Connection, anything about trap, neuter, and return, please give us a call. Our number is 1-855-662-4788. And one of the things I happen to have mentioned is that we are getting ready for a big volunteer meeting and our first big kickoff at Kitty Connection. We're really excited about getting $2,500 from our MAC grant. And to us, it's a big thing. But again, when you're looking at spaying or neutering an average cat can cost about $85. $2,500 doesn't go a long way. So what we try to do is get creative. There are free clinics. The Catmobile helps us with spaying and neutering for $35. So this week we've been traveling around following the Catmobile to Methuen, Swampscott, Everett, Medfit, Malden, trying to get as many of the cats and kittens that we've been rescuing spayed, neutered, and returned back out into their environment. When these cats are at these clinics, what happens is a tip of their ear. And what I'll do is I'll take out one of the other little kittens that's saying, please don't take me out. I don't really want to meet everybody. And isn't it amazing how all three of these kittens look so much alike? Yes. Yeah, you need your time on the ear too. So we've got three little kittens that were rescued from outside, and anybody that, you know, has the time to nurture these little kittens, hold them, spend a lot of time. If you work full time, one of these kittens just aren't going to be a good pick for you. You really need to have the time to hold them and spend a lot of time with them. And we do train some of the people that want to give these kittens a home, how you can make them successfully become some of the most lovable pets that you'll ever have in your lifetime. And it's so amazing because we've actually got 5 beautiful gray kittens, just like this one, that are up for adoption. We call them TLC kittens. And one of the plans that we're trying to network with a lot of the other rescues is to promote some of these TLC kittens, and hoping that people that are watching the program can spread the word, send people to our website, www.kittyconnection.net, and look at these kittens. And if you do have the time, you can even foster or definitely consider giving them a home, especially if you're looking for a friend for one of your present cats that you have. And it's just so incredible how much you can do in the life of a little kitten that would be spending the rest of its life outside if we didn't take the time to do what we do and rescue them. So this is thanks to $2,500 MAC grant. A lot of exhausted volunteers this week that have been running all over town trying to trap these cats, because when you're working with kittens, every extra day that they spend outside is one more day that becomes harder to turn them. And now I'm going to introduce you to some of our other junior volunteers. And we've got Sarah sitting next to me with that pretty flower in her hair. And Sarah's one of our new volunteers. Sarah, you just joined us, and you wanted to be a foster home. Yep. And when you are a junior volunteer, and your parents do have to sign, how did you find Kitty Connection, and what made you want to be a foster home?
Like, adopting one kitten is like saving one life, but fostering is saving many lives. So it's like very rewarding.
Yeah, it's funny because somebody had said, "Oh, I had to give up fostering because it was breaking my heart to give them up." And it's kind of, I call adoption like bittersweet. But that's kind of like when people say, how can you do it? That's exactly what I say, is that if I don't give them up, then I can't save another one. And our other volunteer here, Sophia. Sophia, you started with us in December of 2011.
Yes, I did.
And you started with us with Photos with Santa.
Yes,
Wasn't
I did at the mall in Medford.
Yeah, PetSmart. Every December, there's 3 weekends of December, and it's exhausting. But Sophia was a big help. Sophia, you came and helped us 3 of the Sundays, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and we are always desperate for help for Photos with Santa. It's 3 weekends, Saturday and Sunday, 11 to 4. At PetSmart in Everett, and there is also one Saturday at Petco. And when you're doing something from 11 to 4, Sophia was putting the pictures together. We have a photographer, and we have someone that dresses up as Santa Claus. So a total of 7 days of Pictures with Santa can be exhausting. And then after that, you joined us, and every Wednesday after school, you come to Kitty Connection, and you've been volunteering with Lois. And what do you do with Lois?
What I do is I help I help, clean litter. I help sweep the floors. I help change out the water and give them fresh food, maybe some more dry food if they run out. And then, after all the work is done, I can play with the kitties.
Which is always fun. I think everybody likes to play with the kitties. And one of the other things I think that's a little amazing too, Sophia, aren't you allergic to cats?
I've never been allergy tested, but I'm either allergic to, either dust or cats. So I sometimes need to bring lots of tissues.
Yeah, so you have to, Sophia has to be careful about what she does at Kitty Connection so she doesn't stir up some of the allergy. So again, you can see the commitment of people and our junior volunteers that really, really, really want to make a difference in the lives of the animals that we rescue. And so even when Sarah, you actually just lost your car. Yeah. And basically you're still networking Scooby.
Yep.
Sarah helped us with one of our cats, and it's an amazing story because he actually helped a depressed senior have a reason to live, and we let Scooby stay with him until he had to go into a nursing home. Unfortunately, it happened at a time when Kitty Connection's full and we didn't have a lot of extra foster homes. And as lovable as Scooby is, he doesn't like dogs. And he really is not great with other cats in the adoption area. So Sarah got to see firsthand how Scooby screams. We literally, when Sarah brings him to adoption events, he has his own little carrier now that he has big, what would we call it, crate that he's transported to and from adoption events, because Scooby really does have a hard time. So check Scooby out on our website, www.kittyconnection.net, and maybe you can give Scooby a home. We are discounting him because he is a desperate kitty for a home. He would do fine with another cat, but he's a big love. Tell us something about Scooby, Sarah.
He loves everyone. Absolutely everyone. Everyone he meets, he'll just jump on you and love you. He's a really lovable cat.
And one of the hard things to get Scooby adopted, he's a young cat, he's only 2 years old, but he's one of our FIV positive cats. And a lot of times people are afraid of FIV in cats, which is feline AIDS. But we do have a lot of information on it. We don't segregate our non-FIV cats. As a matter of fact, a lot of volunteers at Kitty Connection have an FIV cat as well as a non-FIV cat. So, if you would consider giving Scooby a home and FIV kind of scares you, read up on all of the information, because sometimes being afraid of something just prevents you from having an opportunity to have somebody real special in your life like Scooby. So one of the things that I want to talk about, and we'll get ready to bring on some of our adult volunteers that I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce you to. And we'll look at some more of our little kitties here who's getting a little scared. But we have our kickoff event that is coming up on September 9th at Margarita's. We're really excited. A lot of our volunteers will be coming together. We're going to be preparing for our all of the events that will be coming up starting in September, October, November, and December. We have so many adoption events. There's going to be the Pet Expo on September 15th. Margaritas, Kitty Connection's going to get 15% of food and drinks, and it goes from 4 p.m. in the afternoon until 10 p.m. And MSPCA is planning on coming there. It's going to be a kickoff celebration for receiving our MAC grant and the beginning of many other grants that we plan on applying for more trap, neuter, and return. Kitty Connection's excited because we are expanding, and one of our goals this year is to actually add on to Kitty Connection. So we need to do a lot of fundraising to be able to make that happen. But our other goal, too, is a lot of awareness. People don't realize how important animals are in people's lives. And Scooby's one of those special cats that I was telling you about that actually made a big difference in an elderly man's life to give him a reason to live. And there are so many people out there that suffer from loneliness and depression. And how can you just not feel blessed to have a little creature like this in your arms that grows up and can become your best friend, especially to lonely senior citizens whose friends and family have passed away. Sometimes when they pass away, they too leave their pets behind. So Kitty Connection does have many senior cats and even some older cats. Bubbles and Rocco are two kitties that are 5 years old whose owners passed away. One not too old died of cancer, and another senior that passed away left Rocco to be a little orphan, and they're lonely and really missing their owners. So definitely check out our website, www.kittyconnection.net, and consider giving some of our shy kittens and adult cats. Everybody wants a kittens, and there's so many needy adult cats. We have an upcoming adoption event. There is a grand opening at Petco Unleashed in Charlestown. We will be there Friday night from 5 to 8, and we will be there again on Saturday morning from 9 to 4, so you can see why we're exhausted. And again, to have all of these events and everything that is happening in our organization takes all the volunteers that make up Kitty Connection, not only our junior volunteers, but many of our adult volunteers. And I have two that I'm really honored to introduce everybody to tonight. Kathy, right here off to my left, and my sister in crime, Rita. And Kathy actually adopted. She came to Kitty Connection. You adopted from Melrose, Maine. Yep. You adopted two kitties from Kitty Connection. That's right. And Kathy is an excellent photographer, and she started coming visiting at Kitty Connection, and we're happy that she's become the photographer for Kitty Connection. And I can't tell you, please go to our website and check out these photos, okay? www.kittyconnection.net, because we have gotten so many responses to who is doing the photos of your cats. And so Kathy comes to Kitty Connection, she goes to our foster homes, and she photographs all of our cats. Rita is, my God, Rita, we met Rita because Rita called Kitty Connection, and she needed some help with some stray cats, and I bet you she wishes she never called us.
We caught about 20 cats altogether, maybe 25 kittens, and it was a job, and I just sat back and let them do all the work.
But now we've got her out there doing it.
It's like, well, since we helped you, do you mind doing this and that? And not at all.
And God, Rita, you've been volunteering with us for a year.
At least, yeah.
And again, when I have to talk about volunteering, that, you know, you can do as little and you can do as a lot. And one thing I think is contagious at Kitty Connection is people like Kathy and Rita that just keep doing more and more. And sometimes, as all organizations, I mean, you really can get burnout. And I think this week, even Rita and I together have burnout. Let me tell you, we're trapping, and you're out late. And we've been trapping since Friday night. And then you've got to get all these cats ready, mind you, and we're still going off to work. And there's Rita out of bed in the morning, running to my house for us to pack up and make sure all these traps are ready to go off to the Catmobile. And we're looking at each other, cranky, getting exhausted, not knowing what our names are. But
this is it. This is the final product.
These are the little kittens that are what it's all about. And when somebody comes to meet them and they get a home, and the cats that we rescue get a home, it makes a really big difference. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to share on the show. And don't forget, please give us a call, 1-855-662-4788. I got an email, and we got a picture of who's the little calico girl that you fostered? Cloudy. Cloudy was an extremely shy cat that was rescued from outside. She was actually, we were planning on releasing her and her two siblings. And Rita really vouched for them. She said, these cats deserve a home. The guy that was taking care of them said, these cats deserve a home. And I kept saying, nobody wants these cats because they're shy and they need a lot of work. And everybody took a kitty. Rita kept Cloudy. And, Jamaica was another. Aruba. The Snow Blast. We still have Smokey Joe and Charlie. But these are all shy kitties that we took in. And Rita was diligent with Cloudy. And when somebody calls us and says, oh, I like that cat, Cloudy, or somebody calls or emails us about Lando, one of the shy kittens, you know, and we say, oh, thank you, we're really excited. These are shyer kitties or shyer kittens. And some people right away say, oh, no, this isn't what I'm looking for. But when this woman, Lee, came, and she says, oh, I don't mind that she's shy. I want to meet her. And she came, and she adopted her, and we're like, oh, my God, this is like something to celebrate. And some of these adopters, they get really discouraged, too. They call us and say, oh, my God, I don't think I can do it. And we give them guidance, and Rita was telling her what she did. And people don't understand that it takes time. It's, you know, we try to tell them, think of what these poor cats are going through. It'd be like me taking you and dropping you off in Alaska and saying, you know, have fun, you know, figure it out for yourself. Think of how displaced you would be. Do you really think you would be yourself if I dumped you in Alaska in the middle of January? You wouldn't, okay? And this is what is so sad. And we don't have enough people that can really work with these kitties. JJ's another volunteer that's pretty much behind the scenes. You don't really see her. You won't see her a lot. But she's a foster home that takes one of these shy kitties and will work with them, too. And Rita not only works with these shy kitties, but she'll, you know, she also fosters regular kitties, sick kitties. And trust me,
all kinds of kitties.
You know, I mean, you wouldn't imagine what some of the volunteers do and go through to just find some of these kitties a home. One of, you know, as I said when I, you know, talking about Scooby, the difference he made in this senior's life, and you know, one of the other goals that I'm working on too in Kitty Connection, and I'm hoping can happen, and I'm going to be sharing this with our volunteers, is I'm hoping that we can actually, at St. Joseph's Parish this year, have for the first time a blessing of the animals.
Oh, that'd be great.
Okay? I don't think people realize how important animals are, and they are part of the bigger picture of creation. And when you want to stop and think, a lot of people that are abusing children and other people outside are also, they maybe as children or in some of these homes, there are animals that were abused. And when you can see that abuse going on in a home, and the more aware that we can make people is that you can look and maybe wonder, is there somebody in that home that could be getting abused as well? And this is, you know, we're all intertwined in some way. And I think that, you know, being able to realize the benefits that animals bring in so many people's lives, you know, even in medical, it's proven that blood pressure is reduced. Heart patients are so much more relaxed when they are with the animals. And I work with seniors, and I started a senior pet program. And, you know, we have the therapy dogs that visit some of the clients, and one of our dogs that visited a client, the volunteer called me that the client had passed away, and her last coherent words were said to Buddy the dog. So it's really sad. I think that our culture is becoming so busy today that people are really, you know, they're just on such a fast trend. And, you know, I could feel it just on the show, holding that little kitty in my lap, that it just kind of like slows everything down. You know, you can just feel relaxed. And that's a scared kitty.
Right.
And by that kitty making me relaxed, I'm making him relaxed. So it's a win-win for all. And I think the more that community, churches, and everybody can get together, the more good that we can bring into a crazy world that we do have out there. So I think that this is something that's really important. I'm hoping that throughout this season, when the Pet Network is doing our monthly show and continuing our goal of educating the public, making them realize the importance of being responsible pet owners, spaying and neutering. When you see that little cat or kitten or lost dog running around outside, do something about it. These kittens have a chance because somebody made a phone call. Somebody cared enough to feed these little kittens and their mother. And even though their mother had to be returned outside because she maybe never had the chance that they did to get rescued as a young kitten, these kitties have a chance. And I can't tell you the rewarding feeling for the volunteers of Kitty Connection, and the people that call us and see the results of their efforts of making that phone call. I mean, you know, even them helping us to rescue these kitties, it's something to really be thankful about. And again, I'm hoping that we are able to, on St. Francis Day, October 4th, that we can get something going at St. Joseph's Parish here on High Street. I did send Father Chip. He's actually the new pastor at St. Joseph's. So he's got a lot on his plate. So if anybody doesn't want to volunteer with animals and would like to give Father Chip some help over at St. Joseph's, he could use some help with carpentry, anything over there. Computer help too. And so can Kitty Connection use some volunteers. So there's always, and I'll even take anybody that wants to help seniors. At Somerville Cambridge Elder Services, we're always looking for people to help seniors. So there's so many ways of getting involved out there, and I can't thank the volunteers of Kitty Connection enough for all that they do. We could not, Kitty Connection is not just one person. Kitty Connection is a group of hard-working men, women, and children that care about animals, people, and the community, and making a difference in what we do and about educating the public in all aspects that we can. Because if you can give one good thing to somebody, your community, it hopefully does spread beyond that. Because you know, every day when we're doing a rescue and it's somebody gave up a pet, or we have a 9-year-old dog that somebody's moving and can't take the dog, and it's like, how can you have a pet in your life for 9 years? I mean, I got an email at Somerville Cambridge Elder Services that a 17-year-old cat has to be given up. It's with Pets in Need because the person had a baby. Okay, I mean, I just have a new granddaughter in my life, and I couldn't imagine my daughter having a new baby in her life and not being able to work out a problem with her dog or a cat. It's, you know, I mean, if you can't work these problems out with the baby, I say, what's going to happen when that baby's a teenager? You think you got problems with the baby now? So, you know, really, I mean, there's just so much that you can teach other people through animal awareness and by teaching people to be responsible pet owners. You know, we can just give so much back. Anybody, we're going to be closing the program. We're near the end, but if you have a phone call that you want to make, 1-855-662-4788. Give us a phone call. If you'd like to make a donation to Kitty Connection to help our trap, neuter, and return program, you can donate by going to our website, www.kittyconnection.net. We have a PayPal account. You can mail us a check. We hope that you'll spread the word. If you have friends that are interested in animals and they don't live in Medford, you can access watching the Pet Network on your computer. We have lots of resource information. We'll work with anybody to try to help them keep their pet, help them work through some of the problems that they are having. And again, please call us if you do see a stray or abandoned animal. We all at Kitty Connection have jobs and work, so we do ask you when you do call us, we might need you to drop that cat off to the vet, because sometimes we maybe don't have a volunteer available on Wednesday, and that poor cat might have to wait till Friday, and between Wednesday and Friday it gets hit by a car, kittens get eaten by raccoons. There's just so many tragedies that we see at Kitty Connection and networking with all of the animal rescue organizations that we do network with. Please, please think of all of the animals that are suffering and the people that are suffering because they can't care for their pets. You know, there's just so many ways that you can make a difference. Food pantries, too, are looking for pet food to help some of these people. I know Kitty Connection, we help some of these the food pantry in Medford. They'll send me an email if they need pet food. So if you have any pet food, you can even donate at Pet Supply Plus. There's a donation bin, and we share these supplies not only with the animals at Kitty Connection, with seniors that need food, with anybody that does call Kitty Connection and needs help, as well as the pet pantries. We do get more donations for cats. We could use some help with even bags of dog food that we could bring to the pantry and help some seniors that do have pets. Some of our needs at Kitty Connection are postage stamps. You know, cat litter is, you know, one of the big things that we go through. Kittens, we need special litter. We use Yesterday's News. We use World's Greatest Cat Litter. So there's many ways that you can help. But I hope that you show your support. Please come to our Margaritas event in Medford on September 9th between 4 and 10 p.m. Even if you don't feel like staying for dinner, you can have a cup of coffee. You can have a glass of wine. Come by and support our efforts. If you're not supporting one of the license plate programs that are out there to raise money for a cause, I hope that you would consider getting one of the pet-friendly license plates. Please support spaying and neutering. It really does make a difference. In the United States, there are so many dogs and cats that are put down every day, and we can all stop that from happening. You know, we should be valuing every aspect of life that we have. We, as Americans, sometimes go to a lot of countries, and we think that their pets are being mistreated. But when I travel to Italy, they want to know why America kills so many animals. I'm there, and I'm saying, why don't you spay and neuter? But they're not killing the amount of animals. I asked them, why don't you take this dog instead of letting it run around in the street to a shelter? And the whole town feeds these stray and abandoned dogs. And they look at me and say, you know, we'll take care of it. Nobody wants it. There's not enough homes for them. You know, in America, you put them down. We don't want to see them die. So, you know, it makes me sit there and say, wow, I mean, here we think that, in some of the third world countries, it's sad because these dogs and cats are out on the streets starving. But even sadder is what you see in third world countries exists in America in the South. They are still gassing in the South. And it's really, really sad that we are not, as Americans, aware of what is going on in our country. I wish young people would take more notice in what's happening in our world and make a difference in every aspect that they can make, because something is definitely going wrong out there. And you can start helping and making a difference in so many ways. I want to end this program again thanking and supporting the wonderful volunteers that we have at Kitty Connection, and really, really stressing to everybody out there, please educate the public, be responsible pet owners, and spay and neuter your pets. And check out our website at www.kittyconnection.net for any resource information that we can assist you with in making a difference. Thank you for watching the Pet Network, and see you next month. We're thinking of September 7th. Bye-bye.